Welcome back to Future AI, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into a paper about how businesses are using AI.
It's called, get this, Business Applications of Artificial Intelligence, a framework to categorize AI use cases.
Catchy, right? Just kidding. But hey,
Mm.
it's a super interesting paper.
Oh, absolutely. And it's part of this program called Innovate UK Bridge AI. It's all about helping businesses, especially in those fast-growing industries, really figure out how to use AI to their advantage.
So it's like a practical guide, not just for the tech giants, but for any company trying to figure out how AI fits into their world.
Exactly. It's like, okay, here's a framework, a way to think about it.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me
Yeah.
more about this framework, this AI roadmap, if you will.
Well, they've broken it down into four main dimensions:
Four. Okay, lay it on me. What are they?
organization, AI system, data, and then economic sector. Each one kind of adds another layer to understanding like where AI fits in.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's start with that first one. Organization. What's that all about?
So it's all about where AI kind of lives in a company. Think of it like, is it built into the products or services they offer?
Right. So like AI powering a chatbot on a website. Makes sense.
Exactly. That's what they call product service centric. Or it can be used internally, behind the scenes, to make the business itself run better.
Oh, I see. So using AI to like automate data entry or, I don't know, manage their supply chain, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's process centric, they call it.
Okay, so two sides of the same AI coin, essentially.
Yeah.
But if a business wants to use AI internally, like we were saying, where can they actually apply it? What parts of the business are we even talking about?
Well, the paper actually identifies 14 different business functions where AI can make a real difference. And we're talking everything from HR, like hiring and stuff, to finance, to marketing, even R&D.
14. Wow, that's a lot. So it sounds like there's a place for AI in pretty much every department, no matter what kind of company you're running.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's organization. What about AI system, the second dimension?
So this one gets into the nitty-gritty of what the AI system can actually do. It's not just about, like, having AI. It's about having the right kind of AI for the job.
Right, like using the right tool for the job. Makes sense. So what are the different kinds of AI they talk about?
They actually break it down into like 7 categories of AI capabilities, each one with its own special applications.
7. Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with those categories.
Okay, so first up, goal-directed action.
Sounds intense.
It is. Think of AI that can actually like take actions to achieve a specific goal. Like imagine a robot arm in a factory, putting together products with insane precision.
Oh, okay, so AI that's actually doing stuff, not just thinking about it.
Right. Or like managing the energy in a building, adjusting the lights and temperature automatically to save energy.
Smart. What else? What's next?
Okay, the next one is recognition and detection.
Hmm.
So this is all about AI's ability to understand and interpret information, like us, but better.
Better. I mean, hopefully. So give me an example. What can it recognize?
Think about AI looking at medical images, like X-rays and spotting signs of disease early on. That's huge, right?
Wow, yeah, life-saving stuff. Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. What's number 3?
Number 3 is generation. Basically, AI creating new content.
Whoa, hold on. AI creating stuff. Like what?
Like imagine AI composing original music. Or, those 3D models you see in video games, AI could generate those.
Whoa. So it's not just like analyzing things. It's actually making things. Pretty wild.
Yeah, and even writing, marketing copy, things like that. Pretty impressive.
That is impressive and a little scary, honestly.
Yeah.
What's next on this list?
Okay, so now we get into 3 that are kind of related: optimization, prediction and forecasting, and then simulation. They're all about using AI to make better decisions, based on analyzing data.
Okay, that makes sense, but break it down for me. What would that look like in the real world?
All right, so optimization. Let's say you have an online store. AI could look at all your customer data and figure out the best product recommendations to, like, boost your sales.
Oh, that's smart. So AI is like a superpowered salesperson, basically.
Pretty much. Or think about, like, delivery routes, AI can optimize those for logistics companies to save them time and money.
Wow, lots of practical applications there. What about prediction and forecasting? Is that like AI telling the future or something?
Not magic, but close. It's about using all that past data to predict what might happen in the future. Like financial institutions use AI to try to predict market trends. Or like healthcare providers trying to forecast patient needs so they can allocate resources better.
Makes sense. Okay, that leaves simulation. What's that all about?
So this is where it gets really cool. Imagine creating virtual environments to test things out. see how things might play out. Like, engineers could use AI to test a bridge design before they actually build the real thing.
Oh, I see. So it's like a virtual playground for testing and innovating.
Exactly. And pharmaceutical companies could test new drugs with simulations without, needing real people for clinical trials.
That's amazing. So we've got goal-directed action, recognition and detection, generation, optimization, prediction and forecasting, simulation. Anything else?
Just one more. Recommendation.
Oh, yeah, like those personalized recommendations you see on Netflix or Spotify.
Exactly. It's all about AI suggesting things you might like based on, all that data they have about you. But it's not just for those big companies. It can be powerful for any business that wants to, personalize the customer experience.
Oh, right, like a travel agency suggesting vacation packages based on your past trips, things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about where AI lives in a company and what it can actually do. What's the next piece of this AI puzzle?
Well, no AI system can function without data, right? That brings us to the third dimension of the framework.
Right, data is like the fuel that powers AI, right?
Hmm.
What are the key things to think about when it comes to data and AI?
This dimension focuses on two main things: the types of data used and whether the system's dealing with personal data.
Okay, let's start with data types. Is it just numbers and spreadsheets?
Actually, it's way more diverse than that. They identify 7 main data types that AI can work with: audio, visual, signal, numerical, categorical, textual, and geospatial data.
Wow, so AI can handle pretty much any type of information you can imagine.
Pretty much, yeah. It's all about finding the right AI for the data you have.
That's fascinating. So data is like this gold mine of information, and AI is the tool that helps you dig it up and make sense of it all.
That's a great way to put it. But you also mentioned personal data. Why is that such a big deal when it comes to AI?
Well, I mean, it seems pretty obvious, right? Any AI that's using personal data, like names, addresses, browsing history, stuff like that, needs to be handled really carefully.
Absolutely. Companies need to make sure they're following all those data protection regulations.
Right, like GDPR, to keep people's information safe. It's a reminder that with all this power comes a lot of responsibility.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered 3 dimensions of the framework now: organization, AI system, and data. What's the final piece?
All right, the fourth and final dimension is all about the economic sector. What industry the AI is being used in.
So AI is being used differently in different industries. Makes sense.
Yeah, some AI applications are kind of universal, but many are really tailored to the specific needs of an industry.
Does this framework focus on any sectors in particular?
Yeah, actually. They highlight 4 sectors where they see AI having a big impact: agriculture, forestry and fishing, construction, creative industries, and then transportation and storage.
Those are pretty diverse industries.
They are. They chose them because they're really important to the UK economy, but are facing some serious challenges. They're not as productive or efficient as they could be.
Interesting. So it's not just about like shiny new tech companies. It's about using AI to help these more traditional industries as well. But what are some of the barriers that are preventing these sectors from adopting AI more widely?
Well, often it comes down to cost. It can be expensive to implement AI, and sometimes it's hard to see the return on investment right away.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a big leap of faith for some companies.
And then sometimes they just don't have the people with the technical expertise to really make it work.
Right. They need the right skills and knowledge to develop and actually use AI solutions.
Exactly. But even with those challenges, the potential benefits are huge. We're talking increased productivity, lower costs, even things like improved safety and sustainability.
So it's kind of a chicken and egg situation, right?
Yeah.
They need AI to improve, but they need to overcome these hurdles to actually implement it.
Pretty much.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've covered all 4 dimensions of the framework: organization, AI system, data, and economic sector. Seems pretty comprehensive. But did the authors mention any limitations to their framework? Like, is there anything we should be aware of?
Yeah, they do acknowledge it's a simplified view. It's a complex reality.
Right, of course. It's just a framework, not like the be-all and end-all.
Right. And it's based on publicly available information, so some details might be missing, like the exact costs of implementing AI or the specific productivity gains they see.
Yeah, companies probably don't want to give away all their secrets.
Exactly.
But even with those limitations, it seems like a really helpful tool for businesses trying to wrap their heads around AI, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's a great place to start.
Well, I feel like I understand AI in the business world a lot better now.
Me too, me too.
What are your biggest takeaways from this deep dive so far?
What really gets me is just how many ways AI is being used. It's not just about self-driving cars or robots taking our jobs. It's so much broader than that.
Yeah, and it's happening right now across so many different industries. It's pretty exciting and a little scary at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
But this framework, it gives us a way to think about it, a way to navigate this new AI-powered world and see the opportunities, right?
Absolutely.
And remember, everyone, we want to hear from you. What are your biggest takeaways? How do you see AI fitting into your business, your life? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. We'll be right back to explore some specific examples of AI in action in those 4 key sectors: agriculture, forestry and fishing, construction, creative industries, and transportation and storage.
Stay tuned. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've got a good handle on the framework, let's actually see how it plays out in those 4 sectors we talked about.
Yeah, let's see. AI in action. So first up, agriculture. Seems like AI could really change how we grow food, right?
It's already happening. Think about AI systems that can monitor crops, using drones and sensors. They can spot signs of disease or like nutrient deficiencies early on.
So the farmer can take action before it's too late.
Exactly. They can optimize their use of pesticides and fertilizers, which is good for the environment and their profits, right?
Makes sense. So it's like having a super smart farmhand helping out.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, what about forestry and fishing? Any cool AI applications in those areas?
Definitely. In forestry, AI can analyze satellite images and sensor data to, check on the health of the forest.
Like a health checkup for the trees.
Yeah, exactly. And predict wildfire risk, and even help them decide how to harvest timber in a sustainable way.
So it's like AI is becoming a guardian of the forest.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, and fishing. What's AI doing there?
Well, it can help analyze fish populations, track fishing vessels, even combat illegal fishing.
Oh, wow. So AI is a bit of an ocean protector too, huh?
You could say that, yeah. Making sure those fish stocks stay healthy.
Love it. Okay, let's move on to construction. I can see how AI could be useful for safety and project management, but are there any, unexpected applications?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Predictive maintenance is a big one. AI can analyze all the sensor data from, bulldozers and cranes and stuff.
Wait, so AI is giving those big machines a checkup?
Basically, it can predict potential breakdowns before they happen.
Oh, that's genius. So less downtime, lower repair costs, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
What other AI innovations are happening in construction? Anything else that blows your mind?
Well, AI is also transforming the design phase. Imagine feeding blueprints into an AI system and it can analyze the whole design.
Oh, wow. So it can spot errors or inefficiencies before you even start building.
Exactly. Saves a ton of time and money and prevents those costly mistakes down the road.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about creative industries. It's harder for me to imagine how AI fits into that world, where it's all about human expression and artistry.
Yeah, it might seem counterintuitive, but AI is actually being used in some really creative ways. For example, there are AI tools that can help musicians compose new melodies.
Oh, interesting. Like suggesting chord progressions or something?
Yeah, or even generating unique sound textures. And then there are AI algorithms that can create those mind-blowing visual effects you see in movies and video games.
So it's like AI is becoming a muse for artists.
Yeah, I like that. It can give them new ideas, help them experiment.
Do you think AI will ever be able to fully replace human creativity, though?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think true artistic expression, that spark, it needs a human touch. AI can enhance it for sure, but not replace it.
Okay, that's good to hear. There's still hope for us humans.
Absolutely.
All right, last but not least, transportation and storage. This feels like a sector that's ripe for disruption, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've all heard about self-driving cars and trucks, right? But AI can also do things like optimize traffic flow in cities.
Yeah, I've heard about those smart traffic light systems.
Right. And then AI can predict delivery times with crazy accuracy and manage warehouse inventory more efficiently.
It's like AI is streamlining the entire process of getting goods from point A to point B.
Totally.
And not just more efficiently, but also potentially more sustainably, right?
Yeah, for sure. If you can optimize routes and logistics, you can save fuel and reduce emissions.
So AI can help us create a cleaner, greener transportation system. This is so cool. We've gone from farms to forests to city streets, all powered by AI. It's amazing to see how AI is already making a difference in these very different industries.
It is, yeah.
And it sounds like we're just at the beginning. What are some of the most exciting things on the horizon in these sectors? What are you most excited about?
Well, in agriculture, for example, we're seeing the rise of precision farming techniques. They use AI to optimize every aspect of growing crops.
Wow, it's like super efficient, data-driven farming.
Exactly, and that could lead to much higher food production with less environmental impact.
That's amazing. It's like AI could help solve world hunger, you know?
Well, it could certainly play a role.
What about forestry? Any groundbreaking applications coming soon?
One really interesting area is using AI to monitor and predict deforestation.
Oh, that's important. How would that work?
They can use AI to analyze satellite imagery and other data and identify areas that are like at risk of being cut down.
So it's like an early warning system for the rainforest.
Exactly. Then they can take steps to protect those forests.
Love it. Okay, what about fishing? What's next for AI there?
Well, one exciting area is developing systems that can actually monitor fish, their behavior and health.
In real time. Wow.
Yeah. That could help us figure out how to fish in a way that's like more sustainable and doesn't harm the fish populations.
Okay, so it's about finding that balance between meeting our needs and protecting the environment.
Exactly.
What about construction? Any mind-blowing AI applications coming down the pipeline there?
One area I'm really excited about is using AI to design and build smart cities.
Smart cities, like what would that even look like?
Imagine buildings that can adjust their energy usage based on who's inside and what the weather's like.
So like buildings that can think for themselves, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Or, traffic management systems that can adapt to changing traffic patterns in real time.
Less traffic, fewer emissions. Sounds good to me.
Right. It's all about creating a more efficient, sustainable, and, just more livable urban environment.
Okay, I'm on board with that. And what about creative industries? Anything mind-blowing coming soon?
We're seeing AI being used to create those hyper-realistic virtual worlds you see in video games.
Oh yeah, those are getting crazy realistic.
Right, but imagine stepping into a virtual museum and being able to interact with historical artifacts.
Oh wow, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
We're exploring a fantasy world that feels just as real as the one outside your window.
Exactly.
So it's like AI is pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of storytelling and just experiencing new worlds.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless.
What about transportation and storage? What's next there?
Well, I think we're on the verge of a real transportation revolution with self-driving vehicles.
Yeah, those are starting to hit the roads more and more now.
Right. Imagine a world with almost no traffic accidents. And think about it, your commute becomes productive work time or even just time to relax.
Right. Oh, no more road rage.
Mm.
I love it. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We started with this framework for understanding how AI is being used in business, and now we've seen how it's playing out in all these different industries. It's clear that AI has the potential to change everything about how we live, work, just interact with the world.
Absolutely. And it's happening fast.
What are your biggest takeaways from all these real-world examples?
For me, it's the sheer diversity of it all. AI isn't just for a few specific industries, it's everywhere.
Yeah, from farms to factories to movie studios, AI is making its mark. It's not just a technology, it's like this force that's shaping the world.
I agree.
And as we head into the final part of this deep dive, I think it's important to think about the bigger picture. We've talked about the potential benefits, but what about the challenges?
Right. How do we make sure AI is used responsibly and ethically, especially as it becomes more and more integrated into our lives?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next part of our deep dive.
We'll be discussing some of the key considerations for responsible AI development. Things like data privacy, bias in algorithms, and how AI is going to affect jobs and the workforce.
It's a crucial conversation, and we need to be having it now as AI continues to evolve and shape the future.
Welcome back. So we've talked about all the exciting stuff AI can do, all the potential. But we got to talk about I guess you could say, the flip side, the concerns that come up.
Yeah, the anxieties around AI, like are robots going to take over the world kind of stuff?
Right. Or is AI going to steal all our jobs? Those are valid questions.
Yeah.
Well, we got to remember AI is a tool.
Right, like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It all depends on us, the humans, using it.
Exactly. So the question becomes, how do we make sure AI is developed and used responsibly? How do we minimize those risks?
What are the safeguards? Where do we even start?
Well, there are a few key areas to focus on. First, transparency. We need AI systems that are explainable. We need to be able to understand how they're making decisions, especially those decisions that affect people's lives.
Right. It's like if we don't understand how AI is making choices, how can we trust it to make fair and ethical ones?
Exactly. Those, what they call black box AI systems, where we don't know how they work, that's a recipe for problems. We need to be able to audit them, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to.
So transparency is key. What else? What other things should we be thinking about?
Well, another big one is algorithmic bias. AI systems, they learn from data, right? And if that data is biased, guess what? The AI is going to be biased too.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. We got to be really careful about the data we use to train these systems, and we need to develop techniques to spot and correct that bias.
That sounds pretty challenging. I mean, how do you even ensure the data is unbiased in the first place?
It's tough. It takes a lot of effort. We need diverse teams working on these systems, people with different backgrounds and perspectives. And we got to involve ethicists, social scientists to help us identify potential issues.
It's a good reminder that AI isn't just a tech problem to solve. There's a whole human ethical side to it.
Totally.
Okay, so transparency, bias. What else should we be worried about?
The impact on jobs. There's no denying AI is going to automate some tasks that humans are doing now.
Yeah, that's a big concern for a lot of people.
It is. But, new tech always disrupts things. Think about the Industrial Revolution. Yeah, some jobs were lost, but whole new industries were created.
So it's not just about doom and gloom. There's potential for new opportunities, too.
Right. And we need to prepare for that. Invest in education and training to help people adapt, learn new skills for those new jobs that AI is going to create.
Okay, so it's about being proactive, not just reactive.
Exactly. And honestly, AI has the potential to solve some of the biggest problems we're facing, like climate change, poverty, even diseases.
That's the optimistic view.
Yeah, but we have to make sure it's developed and used in a way that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Right, AI for good, as they say. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. We started with this framework for understanding AI in business, and we ended up talking about the future of humanity.
It's all connected, right?
It really is. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that the future of AI is in our hands.
Yeah.
It's up to us to shape it, to make sure it's a future we want to live in.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI. We hope you've learned something, maybe even feel a little more empowered to engage in this conversation about AI and the future we're building together.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into some cutting-edge research. Until then, stay curious.